So, you want to know how to use NoodleTools? NoodleTools is a citation management program that NU Library subscribes to. It can help you to create citations, keep track of your sources, make notes, and also do collaborative research and writing. It's available for free for all NU students through the library subscription. All you have to do is create an account. Let's start at the library homepage, library.niagara.edu. From there, scroll down to Quick Links, and we have a link that says NoodleTools. Make sure that you always start at the library homepage and then click the link from there. This will ensure that you're properly authenticated through our subscription. Otherwise, if you bookmark the site itself or type the address directly into your browser, sometimes you may have trouble logging in. Just like with our other library databases and resources, if you're using NoodleTools from off-campus, you'll be asked to log in with your Purple Pass username and password. Now we're on the NoodleTools login screen, and as the green message says, we've been automatically authenticated through the NU subscription. If this is your first time using NoodleTools, you'll just need to create your free account, but it's pretty quick and you only have to do it once. So click on the register link, then select whether you're a student or instructor, and if you're a student, enter your year of graduation. The reason that this screen asks for the last 4 digits of your phone number and also your initials is just for troubleshooting. So if you have trouble logging into your account in the future, an NU librarian can use this to retrieve your account information. Then you can choose your own username or personal ID and your own password. Just for simplicity, consider using the username and password that you already have for your Purple Pass account, and then it's one less account to remember. So once you're registered, you can just sign in. After you log in, you begin on a page called Projects, which is listed here at the top. Projects are used to organize your work, so you would create a new project for each paper or assignment that you're working on. And then as you work on your assignment and you find articles and books to use, you can add those citations to the project. This makes it easy to keep track of all your sources, and you don't have to worry about forgetting where you got a certain quote or piece of information. It also categorizes them by year, so by default I'm on a page for the current school year. If I want to see the projects I created for previous years, I can just select those in the drop-down menu. I haven't created any projects yet for the current year, so this list is empty. Let's create a new project by clicking the green button. The project title is whatever works best for you to help you identify it later on. I'll call it Harry Potter Essay. Next, we choose a citation style. In many cases, your instructor will have already told you which style you need to use for this assignment, whether that's MLA, APA, or Chicago. So if you're not sure, check with your instructor. I'll choose MLA here. Then we choose a citation level. This determines how many options you'll get for adding different kinds of sources. Starter is very basic, with only a few options, so we recommend using Junior or Advanced. I'll select Junior. And don't worry too much about making a mistake on the screen, because it's very easy to later go back and change the citation style or citation level if you want. Then I'll click Submit. Now instead of an empty list for the current year, it shows the project I just created, and I can quickly see the citation style and citation level it uses, MLA and Junior. Now we'll start adding sources. To do this, we just click on the project title. And now I'm on the Sources page, which is listed here at the top, along with the title of the project that I'm currently working on. Let's say I'm looking for articles in the EBSCOhost database, and I want to add one of the results. Instead of clicking on one of the full text links, I'll click on the article title. This takes me to a page that has all the information that I'll need to add the citation. Back in NoodleTools, I'll click on New Source. And this is where the citation level matters because it determines how many options you'll get on this screen. The first question asks where your source is from. This is from EBSCOhost, one of the library databases, so I'll click Database. The next question is, what is it? Our library databases can include many types of content, such as articles from journals, magazines, or newspapers, and some may also have books, or photographs, or even videos. My source is an article, which is stated here on the information page. Sometimes you may have to look at the article for a bit to determine whether this is an article from a journal, magazine, or newspaper. In this case, because the publication has the word journal in the title, I know it's a journal, so I'll click that. Now I can just fill in the information I have and NoodleTools will generate the citation for me. So this is going to involve a bit of flipping back and forth between the two tabs in my browser. The first section asks for information about the database where we found the source. The name of the database is EBSCOhost, so I'll click on that line and then just start typing until I get a match. Then just click on the title and it's filled in. For the URL field, I could just use the address bar at the top of my browser, but if an option for a permalink is available, it's best to use that instead. EBSCOhost does have an option to display a permalink, so I click that, and then I can use this URL. Just click it to highlight it and then copy it. You can copy it by either right-clicking your mouse and selecting copy, or you can use a keyboard shortcut. On a Windows computer, that would be Control and C, or on a Mac, it would be Command and C. Now I can just paste that into the URL field. Again, I can right-click and select Paste, or on a Windows computer, I would press Control and V, or on a Mac, I would press Command and V. DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. This isn't always listed with the article, so don't worry if you can't find it. This article does have a DOI, so I'll copy and paste that. Now a yellow triangle icon comes up, meaning that I have an alert. It says that MLA recommends entering the DOI the same as a URL, beginning with https://doi.org and then another slash. So I'll enter that. And then the alert goes away. Most recent date of access. If you just access the article today, just click Today, and it will fill in the date automatically. If it was a different date, you can just select that from the drop-down menu. Now this section asks about the article itself. First, the author. Since it's just one name and it's short, I'll just type that in directly instead of copying and pasting the first and last name. Beth Driscoll. If there was more than one author, I could click Add Contributor and add their name as well. Now I'll copy and paste the title, Using Harry Potter to Teach Literacy, Different Approaches. NoodleTools gives me another alert here. It's actually two alerts, both regarding capitalization. The first one says that usually the first word after the colon should be capitalized, and this is a requirement for all three citation styles, whether it's MLA, APA, or Chicago. So I'll capitalize the word different, but I still have this other alert which says that all the other words should be capitalized, and this is a requirement specific to MLA. So for example, if for this project I had selected APA style, this alert wouldn't have come up. So even though I copied and pasted this title right from the database, I still need to fix this in order to meet the MLA specifications. Then the pages, 259 to 271. Now this section asks about the journal that the article came from. In EBSCOhost, they refer to this as the source. This is the Cambridge Journal of Education. Then volume and issue number, volume 43, issue 2, and then the publication date. This is listed as June 2013, so it's just a month and year, so that's all I'll enter. And last is an annotation. So if your assignment is an annotated bibliography, you could add your annotation right here, and then your final source list would include those annotations. I'm not going to add an annotation, and I'm just going to click Save. And now NoodleTools has created a correctly formatted MLA citation from all that information I entered. I also have a few extra options to organize my sources, which is especially helpful if you start adding a lot of sources and you have a long list. I could choose to label the source type, primary, secondary, or tertiary, and this can be helpful if you have an assignment that requires a certain number of primary sources. And you can also give the source a color, which would just be according to your own categories or system of organizing the sources. I can also add note cards, which can be used to make notes or add quotes from the article that I want to use, and it's a nice way to keep track of information from the article that I later want to use in my paper. But of course this isn't required, and some people choose to just use NoodleTools for the citations and then make their own notes in another program. Let's add one more citation just to demonstrate another method for doing this. And I'll use an article from ProQuest. Again, instead of clicking on full text, I'll just click on the title, And in this case, the ProQuest information page shows me that the source is a scholarly journal. And I can also see that again the publication has the word journal in the title. So I'll go back to NoodleTools, click on New Source, and again select Database and Journal. Now instead of adding the information field by field, I'll click this link at the top that says Quick Cite, Copy and Paste a Citation. Many of our databases can generate a citation for you, including EBSCOhost and ProQuest. So on the article's information page, I can just click the Cite link. And since I'm using MLA style, I'll select that from the drop-down menu. Then I can highlight the citation, copy it, and paste it into NoodleTools. But before I click Save, let's look at this list of tips. Do not assume the citation is correct. Compare to examples in the MLA Handbook and the Pullout MLA Guide above. The MLA Pullout Guide is up here at the top right, and clicking on it gives me an example of a journal citation. So I should compare that with what I've copied and pasted to make sure everything looks correct. Reapply text formatting like italics. Sometimes, for whatever reason, when people copy and paste a citation, the parts that were in italics may just paste as regular text. In this case, the italics did carry over, so that's all set. Check capitalization of the titles. As we said before, MLA requires that all words in the title be capitalized, but APA doesn't. So since I'm using MLA, I want to check and make sure that my title has all the words capitalized. And it does. For journals, look for a DOI. I can see that that's already included in my citation, so that's all set. Now I'll click Save. And I'll also assign this one a color. Now that I have more than one citation, NoodleTools has automatically sorted them alphabetically by the author's last name. I could change this to sort by currency, which would mean that the most current article would be first. Or if I used any of the categories, I can have them grouped together. Once I'm ready to finish my paper, I can export this list and then easily add my sources to the end of it. So click on the printer icon, which doesn't just mean print, but also export. You can export the list as a Microsoft Word document, an RTF file, which is a type of text file, or export it to Google Docs. Or if I just want to copy and paste the list without creating a file, I can click Preview as Web Page HTML. Then I'll choose to export all the sources and click Submit. And this opens a new tab with my works cited list, already alphabetized, and then I can just copy and paste this into my paper. Now you know how to use NoodleTools. If you still have questions, feel free to contact NU Library for assistance.